You're traveling back to your home country, you know that from your past, due to Eid, there will be much crowd. Uh, you have what you cannot travel. Now, this question, I have specifically put it here, and I already had discussed this question last time. I wanted to put this thing when you want to avoid the problem, even in the future, we want to look into the first thing into that way. First is always issue log. First is always issue log.
As a Scrum Master, what will you do? You're working in state of art subject during 4 day of 3 week sprint. Client asks you that you want to add new requirement. Team is not agreeing to this as they are saying sprint backlog was agreed now. They don't want to change anything in it. As a Scrum Master, what will you do? Option A, you will communicate to the client that it cannot be added as team is not agreeing to this requirement. B, you will accept client requirement as agile accept agile change at any time. And C says you will facilitate meeting with product owner, team, and client to find out priority of the deliverable and decide according to it. And D, you will wait for the sprint to end, and at end of every sprint review, you will talk to client about best scrum. So I think the best answer would be C.
Okay. The best answer would be
C. You
C. Okay. You have been just hired as the project manager. Project charter has been approved. What will be your first step? Now, what is your first step when your project charter has been approved? Guys, the first thing that as a project manager, you come and you do. If your charter is not approved, if your charter is not approved, okay, you do this. You review business case and align it. If your charter is not approved, okay, then this becomes one. Once this is done and your charter is approved, which is the scenario, this will review the charter. We'll review the charter. Then the next step is we'll make assumption log, and after that we'll make stakeholder list. This is a critical flow that may help you PMP exam.
Okay. You are the project manager in a large construction project. Reviewed pro you have reviewed the project charter. You are in the initiation fit process. There is a chance that some resources will leave the project. At this stage, which document will you update to document this? But I feel like risk register is probably the answer.
You see, if you look into that, we are said the question said that we are in initiation phase. What are the
Okay.
five process group? Initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. Right, David?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are in initiation. The three things that happens in initiation are project charter, assumption log, and stakeholder register. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the risk register is not here. The
Mm.
reason I put it, you are in initiation. And what will you document at this stage is to make sure that you understand that this is not the answer.
Mm.
Okay, assumption log will have that criteria in it. That was the key point in this pattern question. Like, okay, the question gave us the information that the stakeholder is resistant. Let's go to the stakeholder engagement matrix. Unaware, resistant, neutral, sportive, leading. We have this tool, stakeholder engagement matrix, that has a column that somebody is resistant, which automatically says whenever there's a resistant, he is a person of highly importance. He is a person of highly important. And for anyone to be interested, to be resistant, this is very critical concept. For somebody to be resistant, he will be interested in you. If I am against you, if I don't support you, I have to be interested in you. I have to be interested in you. For example, this year is a political year all over the world. India, Pakistan, US, elections are being happening there. Let's say the other party, the one that you are not supporting, you are resistant to them. You are interested in their progress. You do check their page. You do see that what they are doing, right? Resistant. So resistant people, if I put in the power interest graph, they come in the one, in the first one, in the first one. So resistant must be managed closely.
You are the project manager working in large petroleum company. You are in the process of identifying stakeholder. Okay, you have one stakeholder. He is very important for the project. Not managing him can make or break your project. You have find out he is resistant to the project, as this may cause removal of his team members. So, first option is send him daily report. Second option, call him to see how you can make him neutral. Third, make him personally to find out the reason. Last is send your team members to talk to him. Okay. The first, I will go with the option. First is send him the daily report. I don't think this is an option. I can rule it out because
Okay.
now going coming
So
back to the
why?
second option, because he is resistant to the project means he is interested to the project. So I have to manage him very closely. So my answer will be meet him personally to find out the reason. C option.
During execution phase, a new stakeholder has been identified. So we discuss initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, control, and closing. These are the five process group. We are in execution. During execution, a new stakeholder has been identified. You identify the stakeholder. Now you have analyzed him. Okay, that's a good thing. You have analyzed him. You identify the stakeholder, you analyze him. He is important for the project. You have added him into the stakeholder register. What will you do? So understanding this thing that you have already identified him, already worked into that. So we will work into that, Aslama. Please take this question. Which question to take with it? Raise a change request, raise a change request. Okay. Raise a change request, update the stakeholder. No. Okay, Osama, we need to understand this thing since in order, Venkat, why you are updating communication plan, brother? Why you are updating communication? Kasim, we cannot update any plan. We are in the execution phase. In order to update any plan, we first need to raise a change request. First,
What will you do next? A stakeholder was identified in project execution. You have updated project management plan. What will you do next? So the question is saying that the project is in execution phase and the new stakeholder is identified. So going one by one to the options, raise a change request to update stakeholder plan. As the plan is already updated, project management plan has all the plans, so no need of more change requests. A is eliminated. B, update communication plan. It is the same reason I'm eliminating it, because already project management plan is updated. So communication plan is already updated. It is eliminated. Going for C, update assumption log. That may be the option. And let's go to the next option, D, update stakeholder register. It is already, this was the first step actually when it was identified. Stakeholder was identified, and then the plan was changed after change request. All the steps are already being done. So the C option is more appropriate. Update assumption log
very well
could
done.
be
You
done.
have updated the project plan. The sequence is that whenever a new stakeholder is identified, you put him into the stakeholder register. You raise a change request. Once the plan is updated, all the plans are the part of project management plan. So all the plans are updated. Now the next thing would be you will update the assumption log. Very well done. Okay, now this question is very interesting in the context that we actually need to look into that how things are happening and what things can be done. Culture awareness and political awareness is kind of very important in your PMP exam. Okay, so culture awareness is basically understand how things are done in that pattern culture, how things are done in that culture. Political awareness, where is who has the power to make the decisions, who has the power to make decisions. You are working the project with team members while talking to each other. Don't look into their eyes. You have been working with. So now this is the things. This is basically a cultural thing. Okay, this is a cultural thing, and we need to look into that. How the culture can be worked into that way. Please understand, this is the job of the project manager to identify training needs, provide training, measure training outcomes, and keep doing that. Keep doing that same loop. Keep doing that. These loops need to be fulfilled. This loop need to be kept on going and going. Okay. Again, one more question that talks about how things are done in this culture, and I have highlighted this thing like this is the culture of CEOs all over the world. Like at the golf club, they worked into that way, right? This is one of the reasons I really want to learn the golf, right? This is the culture of CEOs, so we need to look into that. Culture awareness again. You are moving from Dubai to China for communication. WhatsApp does not work in China. In China, you cannot even send message on WhatsApp. It's an interesting thing, right? Does not happen in future projects. The key here is future projects. For future projects, we will update lesson learn or OPA. But here we'll go for that. Umair, you are working in a large project. In this project, you have to share a lot of information. So, what is the best method? Some people push since notification and things like that comes under push. It's a good answer. Some people say put in a dashboard. People can get the information themselves. It's a good answer. Interactive. Let's have a discussion with them. It's a good answer. I totally agree. That is also a great answer. Great answer, I would say. But the best answer is let's combine them all.